We're here today to share some of the key findings of our Global Contact Center survey. This global crisis of the COVID-19 outbreak has made it all the more important for us to share the survey results with our customers. We partnered with a third-party market research firm, Donata, to conduct this online survey, which targeted 700 contact center decision makers in 7 countries and spanning over 10 vertical industries. The survey identified uncommon knowledge that we feel is especially relevant given the circumstances that are going on today. Many of our customers have been reaching out to us because they've been experiencing, like many companies, an increase in call volumes and interaction volumes from their customers. In some cases, call volumes have doubled and even tripled. While this crisis comes with many challenges, we also feel that this is an opportunity for contact centers to find new ways of working, as well as finding new ways of building deeper relationships with your customers and serving them better. With that, I will turn it over to Omar.
Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, I mean, this was a very instructive survey. When we saw the results and saw that 62% of the survey respondents were implementing a cloud contact center in the next 18 months, it's really affirming what we were seeing in the marketplace, which is just an acceleration. And cloud contact centers have a lot of benefits. That's why people are adopting them so fast. Let's start with the ones that are most relevant to what's going on with the global crisis around COVID-19. First of all, companies are experiencing tremendous increases in volume and also in terms of calls and in other online touch points. And what the cloud does is it gives people the ability to scale up and scale down as needed. And this is just super relevant. Even though 40% of our customers already had home use agent technology, many more are reaching out looking for a quick to deploy cloud contact center. And you've already heard me speak about the fact that we were able to get some of these companies and even governments and agencies up in 2 days. And so it's very important to have this kind of flexibility. Other companies that we saw that were also running to the web had contact centers, but the new load meant that they needed to increase a new contact center very rapidly, and the cloud offered them that kind of capability. So for people who didn't have contact centers and wanted to create emergency hotlines, for people who had ones and had to support remote agents, for people who already had contact centers but just had to support more volume, all 3 of these use cases are driving people to move to the cloud very quickly. And we think that that trend is just going to accelerate. At the time we did this survey, it said 62% we're looking at it 18 months. I bet you that with COVID-19, that number just gets bigger. To you, Vinod.
All right, on to customer experience, which is my favorite topic. So something very fundamental is happening in the contact center business, even pre-COVID. And true to point, Omar, it's going to be rapidly accelerated by present circumstances. You know, for the longest time, contact center was this sort of cost center where unhappy customers went for what was perceived as low-value transactions. But that is dramatically changing, and it's evidenced by a very, very, very significant statistic there, which is really that half of contact centers now report into a CX leader, whose mandate is not just the contact center, it is to reinvent customer experiences. Now, it's hardly a surprise now that you see that 4 out of 5 leaders believe that customer experience impacts business outcomes. So that CX leader is not just looking at happy customers, is actually looking at the downstream impact on business results that are driven by better customer experiences. The thing that makes me unbelievably happy, of course, is that 3 out of 4 leaders believe that agent experiences contribute to customer experience. That is significant because the happier your agents and your employees are, the better the experiences they're giving to your customers. And that fact is often ignored, and at least historically has been ignored. Now, both of these are kind of coming in to show that 93% of all leaders believe that agent technology is very, very important in driving this change. And a lot of technologies come to the fore. Everything we knew about agent, employee, or customer experience has changed because retailers are shut, contact center agents are working from home, I ordered a TV on the phone and picked it up curbside. So everything we knew around consumption, buying is changing, which means the need for us to know the drivers of experience in the new paradigm are unbelievably important. So, from employing the use of IVR, conversational AI interfaces, being able to offer more self-serve because of this massive expansion in inquiry volume, and just to go back in and invest in providing better technologies for your customers and for your agents is probably as important as it has ever been in the history of humankind. So, and not to make it sound bigger than it is, but these are unprecedented times. So, back to you, Omar.
Yeah, which this brings me to the next key finding area, and it's AI. And of course, that's near and dear to my heart. And AI is really key to augmenting the contact center's performance. And that goes to the heart of our thesis, which is AI is about turning agents into super agents. It's not about replacing them. And by turning them into super agents, they could respond to queries better, faster, in a more accurate fashion, and that actually leads to better job satisfaction. So one of the key things that Vinod was talking about is this idea that we're going to need to, improve the experience by offloading simple queries and inquiries to AI. So it changes the profile of the human interactions to things that are really more about the exception. So if you could automate away the simple, kind of repeatable, less creative queries, then what you leave to the humans is what they're good at, which is handling the questions that couldn't be answered, and then they use that knowledge to further fine-tune and automate. So when you look at the survey responses, 80% of the survey respondents agree that AI automation and chatbots are becoming a critical function in optimizing their contact center operations. As a matter of fact, we're seeing, again, this trend play out in COVID, where the volumes are just so high that they have to put in some sort of voice bot at the top of the funnel to be able to make it manageable. And so we're seeing them accelerate their move to self-service capabilities informed and powered by AI. We're also seeing that the survey respondents indicated 70% have experienced lower call volumes when the chatbots are deployed. That is very significant. Think about the economic impact of that and what it does to free the people who are working in the contact center for them to be able to spend the right amount of time per person and help them get to resolution on the first contact. So the impact here in automating processes, getting answers faster to consumers, and making your agents happier are tremendous. And we're really excited to see that the market recognizes and is already measuring it. On to you, Zach.
Okay, great, Omar, thank you. I thought Vinod brought up a really good point, and that is the contact center is really going through a renaissance where work is changing. The type of work that occurs in the contact center is much different. I use a statement or a saying that I've used for a while that contact centers used to do one thing a million times every day, the same rinse and repeat interaction, scripted, robotic, low emotional content and context, etc. Those are being automated, and what's left over are what we call exceptions that Omar suggested, and so therefore I'm calling the contact center the digital goalkeeper. It is that last bastion of defense between you and a lost customer. And the last thing you want is someone who's unprepared or isolated, particularly in times like this when they could be in a new working environment, like working at home. And so what we're seeing and what our survey showed is that 2/3 of companies are now integrating the use of experts in real-time interactions with frontline contact center agents. And we think that's a very positive trend, not only for outcomes, but because Cisco provides a full stack of solutions that help facilitate that and make that much easier than acquiring these as separate entities. What does that allow a contact center agent to do? It allows them to have integration to directory and expertise finders and getting to resources very quickly, able to consult people in real time, and then obviously do things like screen share and the like under this whole new guise of first contact resolution. Essentially, companies are getting away from time-based outcomes associated with customer service, ASA, average handle time, which are interesting but not material, and they're going to business outcomes, which is satisfaction, NPS, etc. And nothing could propel us further than allowing a contact center agent to have access to the intelligence and the cerebralness of the rest of the enterprise in real time. Or as I say, make the rest of us like the best of us. That's what this allows the contact center to do. So it's a really exciting time. And our survey underscores that this is actually happening as we speak. So Barb, back to you.
Great. Thank you, Jack. Okay, I think this wraps up our review of the Global Contact Center Survey. I want to thank Zach and Omar and Vinod for your wisdom and your thoughts. And I'd like to thank all of you who are watching this video. And again, we just looked at the four key trends or findings that we feel are relevant to today's circumstance: the cloud transition of contact centers, the use of artificial intelligence in the contact center to optimize performance and improve agent productivity, the way in which we can build deeper relationships and improve customer experiences, which is closely tied to the agent experience. And last but not least, how we need to make sure that the agents, especially now that they are working from home, that they are seamlessly connected to the back office experts who are there to help them deliver the timely and accurate responses that your customers need now. Thank you very much. Our thoughts are with all of our customers and all of those who have been impacted by this global crisis. Thank you.